this judge, Sonya M. McKnight, this judge shot her boyfriend in the face. I'm not making that up. I couldn't believe it when I saw this. I said, wait, what?
A Pennsylvania judge who's been at the center of controversy for years is once again in legal trouble. She's now accused of shooting her ex-boyfriend in the head while he was sleeping after he asked her to move out.
Police said she tried to convince McCoy that he had pulled the trigger on himself. McKnight was already suspended from the bench without pay in November over several pending violations.
McCoy says he told McKnight that they would talk about the relationship the next day and says he went to sleep at around 11 p.m. But then he wakes up a couple hours later with this massive head pain and he was unable to see. When he started screaming, McKnight reportedly asked him, quote, "Mike, what did you do to yourself?" Well, you come to find out that McCoy had a gunshot wound near his right eye.
So this judge over here, McKnight, I mean, at one point was a respectable judge, I'm assuming. She started her judge duties 2016 and, you know, doing her usual thing. But it's interesting because now she had to post bail, I think $300,000 for, they said, allegedly shooting her significant other in the face while he was sleeping. This was not the first time she shot someone in the past. So this is not the first time. This happened in 2019 where she was involved in a shooting where she shot and wounded her estranged husband. So this happened in her home and the husband sustained a gunshot wound to the groin. So she did that. Now, the case was, well, they say thoroughly investigated, but after a careful review of the evidence, the Attorney General office concluded that McKnight acted in self-defense. All right, cool. She had to protect herself. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So at that result, no criminal charges were filed against her, right? So this was the decision that they had with the Attorney General. So the problem is, now we see there was another relationship. This is the one that she currently in trouble with. She had a relationship with Michael McCoy. So after a year-long romance or relationship, whatever you want to call it, McCoy said, you know what? I don't want to be with you anymore. He tried to end the relationship, right? Leave my home. We're done. We're no longer in this relationship anymore. Now, the problem is, according to the court documents, he asked her multiple times to leave his home. And she said no. How scary is that? When you're like, you're done with a relationship, right? And maybe you guys live together, but maybe you own the home or the apartment or whatever is in your name. And whether, you know, and you actually significant other, like, this relationship is not working. So let's plan, or let's just figure out how you can move on with your life and I can move on with mine, and you move out. And the person says, no, I'm not leaving. Like, no, I'm not going anywhere. That's scary. It doesn't matter, man or woman. Like, if you are in a relationship with someone, they say, you tell them to leave and they don't leave. This person's a judge. I'm sure financial is not an issue, but he asked this woman several times to leave my house. So obviously the situation escalated where, despite ending the relationship and removing McKnight's house key from her key ring, he returned home and found her still in the house. So this is just, I don't know, I guess in hindsight, he probably should have called the cops. I don't know what was the situation going on with that situation. But then on one night last month, McKnight allegedly shot McCoy in the face while he slept with a firearm registered in her name. The bullet wound didn't kill him, but caused severe injuries, leaving McCoy partially blind. So the evidence against her is pretty damning. Clearly, the gunshot residue was on her hands, a presence at the scene by the 911 call that she made, pretending that she didn't know anything about the incident. So she was just being ignorant. I looked at this story and I was like, this is absolutely insane. Like, what's going on? These people, what's going on? You're shooting people in the face. Yeah, I mean, clearly squatting and then shooting. Like Judge Dredd out here, just losing her mind. And that's how you end the relationship. Or, I mean, okay, he has to die. Did she want his home? I mean, so she's arrested, attempted murder, and aggravated assault, $300,000 bond. Should it be a bail set for that? I mean, I'm in New York City, so there's no bail here. People do what they want, and then they just like, all right, you book you, and then you just leave, probably the same day, right? But if you shoot someone in the face, should you receive any kind of bail? There should be no bail for you. I mean, gunshot residue on the hands, you basically, it looks like you did it. The gun is registered in your name, but you're able to post a bail up, and also able to post bail of $300,000, which I think is 10% of the bail, but you have money to leave before shooting the man in the face. You should not be bailed out. That's my opinion. What do you guys think in the chat? That's scary. It doesn't matter if the person doing the crime is a man or a woman. Domestic violence is not, I mean, obviously it's one of the worst things you can do. The best thing is to obviously separate, move on. But it seems like this person has a pattern And I guess the first time, maybe it wasn't as clear cut as self-defense. Maybe her history being a judge, she was able to get away with that. This is just opinion. I'm not exactly sure how that case went. But for it to happen again, and this man is sleeping, and then you call the 911 and you pretend that you don't know what's going on. You think someone came in, shot him in the face. Like, really weird. You gotta be really, really, really weird. Hopefully she gets her just due and does no longer shoot people in the face. But I just want to talk about that because I thought that was a wild, absolutely wild story.